Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to answer all your queries that have come up over the last 7-8 days and talk about the Nifty. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation and people taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I answer all your queries and talk about Nifty, here's a small request: kindly support me on Patreon, and once you do that, I'll be able to grow this channel even further and make even more interesting videos, and you'll be able to ask questions of all kinds with respect to stocks and portfolios by taking even a $2 a month, you can say, a tier. There are also other tiers of $10 and $25, and on $25 you can ask me questions and I'll build your portfolio and help you build your portfolio on that. So kindly visit the Patreon website. Now let's talk about the Nifty. It is currently trading at around 9300 levels, and it is trading at 20.7 times earnings. So 2021 times earnings on 450 rupees earnings. If we take the current earnings, it may go to 9600, 9700. That's my assessment, that there could be 300 400 point run left, but then the correction could easily be over 2000 points. So yes, I'm still in the frame that the markets would fall to below 8000 levels, closer to 7000 levels at least. And if things doesn't pan out well over the next 6 months, we could see by the end of the year levels closer to 6300, 6400. We don't know what could be the future, so that is only my assessment, and I'm not God out here. But my assessment says that trading at 2021 times earnings will not remain a lot. Then a lot of people may ask that why I have got into Reliance, and then why would Reliance go up? Absolutely right, Reliance may fall, but it may fall very less, and we could see a run up in Reliance over the next 3 months and then the correction, rather than seeing a one-way downfall, which has already taken place. So just a thought about that. Uh, See, May is normally a month of a tepid, you can say, returns from the markets that I have observed over the last 18-20 years, and May could be the month when the stock market fall big time, or it doesn't go up a lot. What has been happening is whatever that has been happening on the ground is not quite percolated on the screen when you look at the markets, and some of the shares that have went up have kept the markets up, for instance, a Reliance. So one needs to be very careful while investing into the next 50 100 stocks apart from the Nifty, because the fall could be severe in those. So wait for a major capitulation to buy into stocks. So wait for 300-400 point decline in a day to buy into stocks, and there's still a long way to go before this correction ends, because the pandemic needs to end, things need to revive, and people need to be on the ground outside working and freely for the markets to really feel safe and all. And this is not one thing that the market would say in advance that okay, 3 months down the line everything will be fine, because this doesn't look like going away very quickly. I hope it does. So buy top businesses on major declines and stay safe at your home. Coming to the questions, view on HAL and Oxy. This is Oxygen Investments, a very small stock that Chirag is talking about. So this stock, Oxygen Investments, that I have understood is majorly related to the stock market movement. So if the stock market does well, because their major investments is into mutual funds and they into different types of stocks. So if the stock market goes up and stay up, then this does well. If there is uncertainty and the market is not going up, this will not do well. I would not suggest anyone to get into it. First of all, it is a very small cap company. Second, the company on a marquee basis, on the price basis, is extremely expensive. So 14-15,000 rupee stock it is. The book value is also near that. So it is extremely volatile. Very less, you would say, tradable quantity. So 15-20 shares, 10 shares, and all those things that takes place. So I'm all for low liquidity stock, but this is extreme low liquidity. So stay away from this. This is my opinion. HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics, is probably you're talking about a decent share, a government based share, but I would suggest that you get into that simple businesses that churn out 20-25% profit growth even in difficult times, even if they look very expensive. So on major declines, you get into those stocks. So there's a video request on Tata Elixir from Srinath, and I'm going to come up with a video on Tata Elixir in the next couple of weeks or so. So stay tuned for that. As far as I'm concerned, one of the few IT stocks that I like, but it has not given very smart returns over the last 3-4 years. That has to be said. A video on Kaplan Point Labs and Cupid. So definitely going to come up with a video on Kaplan Point Labs soon. Uh, Rakesh wants an opinion on Tata Chemicals for a 1 month period, and he put up this question about a week back. I must say, so he might have sold this. Kindly write in the comment box, Rakesh, if you have. 1 month, I would say, would be difficult because I see in May market correcting. Not a lot, but at least correcting 300-400 points. So maybe Tata Chemicals may correct, may not. But over a longer period of time after the demerger and everything else, it is a more cleaner business, more sustainable business, I feel. And so over a 2 year, 3 year time frame, it is a very these are very good levels to get into Tata Chemicals. But for 1 month, I would suggest if you are in profits, then exit. BB wants a view on Sanofi India. Very good share in the pharma space, and one can hold it, no problem with it. And if it goes down a lot, then buy into it and hold it for the next 2-3 years. It will give you smart returns. Kailash wants a comparison between Avanti and IGL, which is better. By all means, IGL is a better stock. Why I say that? Because the business is totally different. So Avanti feeds into, you can say, the fishery or pisciculture feeds and food. And right now with the condition and major exports, so they export to all sorts of, they export all sorts of things globally, including US, etc. And we know what is the condition of exports and movement of goods at the moment globally. So clearly IGL pips the bill here over the next 4-5 years. Yes, the stock has done nothing and then run up a lot and then again done nothing and has come down. So have patience. 5-6 year time frame would give you good 18-20% return yearly. Get into IGL comparatively. What is the ideal number of stocks to buy in a portfolio? Asked Gurumurthy. In my opinion, the ideal number of stocks are those which you can track, the numbers you can track, the results you can track. So it could range between 3 stocks as at minimum to 10 to 12 stocks at maximum. But then again, how would you keep 5% investment if you want to buy 10 stocks? And that is very interesting. If you're buying 10-12 stocks, then you can keep more than 5% investment in one stock. But have very big clarity in your mind as to what you're buying and how long it would be and what is the business like. You should be having a deep knowledge of the business. I would not suggest you having more than 10-12 stocks in the portfolio, and you can buy some stocks with 15% allocation and some with 5%. I believe large stocks like Reliance, TCS, you can have allocation of more than 10% on major declines if you can understand the numbers as to where to buy, some technicals, etc. So my pick is 7 stocks, 6-7 stocks I feel is best. I've seen portfolios of people having 40, 35, 25, 40 stocks. So I've seen stocks, 35, 40 stocks in a portfolio, and I don't know how they keep up the pace with analyzing each one of them. And there's no surprise that many of those stocks are down 40, 50, even 90%. So my opinion is to keep minimum 3 to maximum 10 to 12 stocks in the portfolio. Video on Iron Exchange is required and ICICI Securities. So I'll come up with a video on Iron Exchange and ICICI Securities in a few weeks' time. There are a lot of videos of stocks are lined up, so kindly be patient, and I'll put in all efforts to complete your requests. Going forward, let's understand what are the other questions that have come up. So, view on Network 18 is asked by Ram Pandey. I feel the stock has come up with very good results, the company, but that is because of the lockdown and people watching more news channels, and especially there are two marquee channels that are there, CNBC, TV18, and such stocks like CNN, IBN. So one needs to be very careful while investing, looking at just the numbers. The numbers could dip once the lockdown gets lifted off, probably in 3 6 months time. So if you're buying for a long haul, then it is an avoid. If you're buying for a trading pick, then probably you can take a genuine stop loss and analyze charts and then take a call. I'll put up a video on Adani Gas, Pratik. Can it become a 5x? I don't know. But the company has done well over the last 2 quarters, that must be said. But again, the stock has run up a lot. So probably on major declines, you can get into it. And I'll put up a video on Adani Gas with total description in a few days' time. Jani Baba has asked, is SRF good? SRF is a very good stock to invest into. So, yes, if you are invested in it, even at higher levels, it just stay put, and on major declines, you can buy an average. If you have not got into the stock, don't get it now because it has run up over the last 2 3 weeks. Probably wait for that major decline in the market that I'm talking about and get into such a stock. There's a question on team lease, that should one buy team lease? Yes, you can buy team lease. I think team lease and InfoEdge are two companies that I believe is going to do wonders after the lockdown gets over, because many people would still seek jobs, so they're required to get into other jobs. They have lost jobs, and so companies like InfoEdge with Naukri and Team Lease, which is into recruitment, etc., and other things, both these companies should be doing well. But look at the numbers and look at where the valuations are. So probably on declines, get into them. I can say that you can get into something like an Info Edge around 2000 rupees, 2100 rupees would be a nice level to get into Info Edge. Narendra Pal has asked that what is the view on SR Oil, SR Steel. I believe that he has some paper shares and wants to know that whether to hold on to the stock or not. Uh, I I would say that you exit the stock. I'm not very gung ho about the metal industry at the moment. There could be some bounces here and there, so probably what one can do is get into, oh sorry, exit the stock on that major bounces in the steel sector when it happens. Exit completely through SR Oil. I feel the oil industry itself would go through a bear phase over the next 5 years or so. 4 5 years, I don't see oil recovering back to say 50 $60 at all. I think it will stay in this range of 30 35 to around 15 $20. So exit both the stocks on major rallies. Now, this Postman has asked a video on Hester Bio and Honeywell. There's a video on Hester Bio coming up, or probably I have put up, but if I have not, then it is coming up in a few days' time. And yes, Honeywell automation I have noted down. Just a one line on both the companies, that I like both the companies. They are pretty good, but I need to analyze them in detail and put up a video. ASAKK has asked, or is this Asa KK, has asked a view on Inox Leisure. I have the same view on Inox Leisure as I had with something like PVR, that yes, you can buy into it, but for 1 year you'll be in losses in this stock. You don't know the bottom. I don't know the bottom of the stock, so I don't know where it will go. But these are attractive levels to buy. Once things normalize, probably 1 year down the line, 1.5 year down the line, people will visit picture halls, etc., malls, and so on and so forth. These stocks will shoot up like anything. So yes, you can buy gradually into Inox Leisure and PVR over the next 1 year, and probably if you have a 3 4 year view, then get into such stocks. uh, Venkateshwar has asked that I need to tell about Century Textile. So my view on Century Textile is that the company is good. They are into more into cement space, and I am not very positive on the cement sector. And if you would have heard what N. Srinivasan of India Cements has told, that the problem is not quite the lockdown. The problem is the thing is they need to transport or the problem is not the demand. They need to transport the cement from one place to another, and most of the trucks are on the roadside and the drivers have run away. So there are no trucks available to transport the cement at all. So this cement sector could be in a lot of trouble even when the lockdown gets over and everything else. Currently, it is in a very bad shape. Let's see what are the other questions that have come in. So again, Kaplan Point Lab is asked by Joel. So that there are many requests on Kaplan Point. One thing that it is a very good pharma company, but whether it will run up in this uh, thing in this pharma run up, will it go up that well? I don't know, because I like Divi's, Dr. Lal, Path Labs, and Ipca Labs in the pharma space. So I'll analyze Kaplan and put up a video. Okay, there's a question being asked by Sandesh Gupta. Best price to buy into Bajaj Finance. I'll be a buyer on Bajaj Finance at around 1600, 1700 levels. It won't go to zero, so people are thinking that it has gone down. I'm not positive on the financial space, but that doesn't mean that Bajaj Finance is heading towards a three-digit number or something like that. You can buy into it from 1600 levels and downwards, but do not expect the same kind of returns as before, and I've explained as to why that is. Uh, Kiran Raj has asked entry levels for Kilpest and Tanla. I believe Kilpest you can get in even at these levels on declines towards 115, if that comes in. I'm still very positive on their numbers for this quarter and going forward. Tanla around 60 would be strong support now with the kind of movement we have seen. So if it comes to around 60, you can buy at current levels and on declines towards between 55 and 60. These are the levels to get into both the stocks. Uh, okay, so Ankit has asked that he is in 60% loss. Should he exit Nitin Spinners? A very good stock, Nitin Spinners. I have invested into it in 2013-14 and made good profits and exited it in 2016 or so. Currently, the textile space is going through a lot of trouble. So probably what you can do is wait for a move towards 40 45 levels or so. Wait for a decent amount of move, 45 48, and exit then, rather than exiting at the present moment. Siddharth has requested a video on fine organics, and many others have also done that. So definitely I'll make a video on fine organics very soon. L&T Tech and NIIT Tech, both very good stocks in the uh, IT domain. L&T Tech I really like, and probably you can buy at current levels and on major decline. NIIT Tech again a very good stock in its niche space. So kindly buy that on declines for sure. Avoid Chola Finance, Gotham, because I don't like any financial companies which are into lending, and they're going to suffer most once the lockdown gets over, because they need to pay a lot of they need to get a lot of money from people, which they will be not be able to pay because many have lost jobs. Okay, so avoid Cholamandalam Finance. That is my opinion for long term. Info Edge EPS is negative. How is it good? Asked Rahim. Well, if you go by EPS, then Tanla's EPS is also negative. but I'm very gung ho about the stock. So you need to dig deep into the stock and the performances. There have been exceptional items for Info Edge over the last 2 3 quarters. You look at the complete business of Info Edge, and then you'll realize that they have acquired a lot of businesses, and they may end up coming up with a IPO of Zomato in the next 2 to 3 years, couple of years. Yeah, the valuations of their inherent businesses are extremely high, such as Zomato, Naukri, etc. And the stake in these kind of businesses is extremely high at 35 40%. These businesses have already gained leadership in the market, and that is why the stock is extremely expensive. Used to trade between 650 to 800 when it came when it came through an IPO and all 2 3 years back. But currently I see the stock in the range of 2500 to 3000. It has already gone up 4 5x from those levels. It's an extremely good stock to get into on major declines. So this was my video answering all your queries. Please like and subscribe my channel and subscribe to Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.